Today I'm talking about bad stuff. The worst places that students try to find TOEFL vocabulary. If you're studying for the TOEFL, I'm here to help. My name is Lucas and I'm the TOEFL guy at TOEFL.magoosh.com. The worst sources. Now, I'm not only talking about bad sources, because, for example, I could say Shakespeare is a bad place for TOEFL vocabulary. Of course he is. That's not really important for modern English because it's too old. Nobody is reading Shakespeare and trying to learn TOEFL vocabulary, or very few people, I hope. But students do make these mistakes. First one is using GRE and SAT word lists. They're not the same. These tests are for native English speakers, and they use vocabulary, especially the old SAT. It just changed, but these tests use vocabulary that's not in the TOEFL. You're not going to see a word like trenchant on the TOEFL. At least it won't be important. But you might see it on the GRE or the old SAT. So these word lists are often full of words that are just too advanced, too rare, too poetic or literary for the TOEFL, which is an academic test of more standard academic English, not of these really rare and more interesting English words for native speakers that are on those tests for native speakers. And the next one is very similar, has the similar problem, some free word lists. One example of this, the website TOEFLvocabulary.com. It has a great name. You would think that TOEFLvocabulary.com would have TOEFL vocabulary, but it doesn't. These free word lists sometimes are just lists of rare English words. That website that I just mentioned, I'm sure the people who created it have good intentions. They want to help, but I think they didn't really know the TOEFL well. Because, for example, in the first 5 words on that list, only one is a realistic TOEFL word. Words like abstemious are not on the TOEFL. Never. If they are, by chance, then they are defined or they are not important for any question. So free word lists, be careful. There are some good free word lists. At Magoosh, we have a free word list. So I can't say it's all bad because, well, I created a free word list, so I probably shouldn't say that. But many of them are bad. So be careful. Know your sources. Free means maybe it's not good. All right, and finally, oh, by the way, some word lists that you have to pay for are also not good. It's hard to say, but be especially careful about the free ones. And finally, popular movies and TV. This is great listening practice in general. And sometimes this is good for the TOEFL in a way. Some idioms can be on the TOEFL that you would only get from conversational, relaxed, informal English. And a lot of popular movies and TV are relaxed, conversational. So that can be helpful. But most popular movies and TV will not include some of the very important academic TOEFL words. You're not going to see things like sedimentation. In a previous video, I talked about sedimentation in a lot of popular movies and TV, but you might need it for the TOEFL. So these can help a little, but they are not enough. You need to also study the academic side. Next week, I'm going to talk about the best resources. So come back next Tuesday And you'll hear more from me, Lucas, and it's next Tuesday, TOEFL Tuesday, the best resources for TOEFL vocabulary. See you then.